Hey guys, Kayley here. Today I am tackling a very requested topic. We're going to talk about how to control frizz. You guys have asked for this for a long time and I don't think I've ever made a video on it. So today I'm going to tackle the basics. A couple things that you need to know to fight frizz, whether you have hair like mine or curly. I've got some tips for you. So let's get into it. So frizzy hair can be caused by a variety of things. It can be from dead ends, it can be porous hair, it can be hair that's not moisturized enough, and it can be due to improper styling. Dead ends is kind of obvious, but dead ends are literally frizz incarnate and it's living on your hair. I know that it gets annoying hearing hairstylists say, oh my gosh, you need to cut your ends, and you're like, you're just trying to get my money. But no, it really is that you have dead frizzy ends living on your hair and the damage is traveling up. So the longer you wait, the worse the frizz gets. Just cut it out. And then you have porous hair. To explain what that is, basically your hair has this cuticle layer which lays like shingles, and it protects the spongy inside of your hair, which is called the cortex, where all the moisture and protein and good stuff lives. When those cuticle layers start to lift, things can get inside and damage the cortex, or through things like chemical processing and heat styling, you can actually lose those shingles and just expose like the spongy heart of your hair, and that creates a lot of frizz. So obviously it can happen through chemical treatments, through a lot of heat styling. But for people with wavy and curly hair, your cuticle structure is actually already more open than most, which means your hair just comes pre-porous for you. And it's already a lot more thirsty than any other hair type. So if you heat style, chemically treat, or have wavy curly hair, you're gonna wanna put a lot more moisture back into your hair, which leads to your hair lacking moisture. Now, typically when we talk about moisture, we talk about water, but what your hair can often use when it's frizzy is more fat. It needs lipids in it to help to moisturize it, but also to weigh down the frizz a little bit. So we're gonna talk a lot about how to add oils and lipids back into your hair today. And finally, you can be styling improperly, and I'm gonna talk about a couple little hair styling habits that you can use to create more smooth, shiny hair. So first of all, let's talk about maintaining moisture in your hair. First of all, this is gonna be a little bit of a waiting game. Like, you can start implementing these things and you'll see a difference within the first couple days to a week, but you're gonna see the most over several weeks. So just keep that in mind. First things first, you can wash your hair less often. That's like a great thing because it's easier, but it also just gives your hair a chance to moisturize itself. So shower less frequently. Also, when you do wash your hair, you should shampoo just the roots, because I'm assuming the frizz is mostly from the middle to ends of your hair. You want to get rid of any like dirt, oil, sweat buildup on your scalp, obviously, but you don't necessarily need to run the shampoo over your ends. You can actually let the shampoo cleanse your ends as it runs out of your hair, and that will keep the moisture a lot more settled. All right, then we move on to conditioner, which is really like the key product if you have frizzy or unruly hair. It's what you need. And that's a great way to get the oil and like lipids back into your hair. The best way to make sure that you do that is, first of all, pick a very moisturizing conditioner. You want to pick one that really emphasizes that it's good for coarse, frizzy, color treated hair, because it's gonna have those heavier moisturizing agents in it already. So one or two brands actually that I would recommend to look at is Shea Moisture. I love that when you turn their bottle over, the advertised benefits on the front are on the back. Sometimes if you look at, you know, something like an argan oil conditioner and then you turn it over, argan oil is literally like the last ingredient. Like, they took their conditioner and put 2 drops of argan oil in it. Now it's argan oil conditioner. Don't fall for that. Just turn it over, look at the back, make sure the advertised benefits are there. And I also really love Herbal Essences. I recently got to go see their labs, and normally when I think of like mass drugstore hair care, I'm like, probably trash ingredients, but they got to show me a lot of the science behind what they do, and I got to see how rigorously they test, and I'm a big fan now. So those two I really recommend. Check out the range, see if there's something that you like for your hair. So let's talk about conditioners with Pippin. Look who is just a love today. Just wants to be held, so I think he might be hosting our video. So the next thing I think is very important are hair oils, like a leave-in oil, because you guys know I love my leave-in conditioners, but I think with that really frizzy hair, you want to take it to the next step. You want to make it a little heavier. So an oil is a really good idea. Shea Moisture has good hair oils. Another one I love is the Living Proof Nourishing Oil. This one is so good. And then obviously for my hair, I love the Restore Perfecting Spray. This one's a lot lighter, but I think it's really good. You could even hypothetically have a leave-in conditioner and an oil, and you just mix them together so you have that kind of hybrid, so it's not as heavy as just using an oil, but it's a little more than just using a leave-in conditioner. Either way, I think you need to find like your perfect little, I don't know, weapon, your hair weapon against the frizz to help weigh it down even more. And finally, obviously, I think it's really good to use a deep conditioning treatment on your hair every 1.5 to 2 weeks. It's just really gonna keep adding in that extra moisture, and Pippin is still wanting to be held. And now let's move on to some good hair care habits. First of all, I really recommend getting a satin pillowcase. It does not have to be like bougie real satin. It just has to be silky feeling. Mine is like $15 from Sally's. Just get what works for you, but seriously, it will change your life. I don't wake up with bed hair anymore because of it, which is crazy. So I can only imagine how much it would help someone with frizzy hair. And then if you have wavy to curly hair, you probably already know this, but only brush your hair either while it's wet or if you're getting ready to wash it, because it's just gonna balloon out. Not the best situation. If you do detangle your hair while it's wet, you wanna make sure that you're using that detangling brush and then like your conditioner or leave-in conditioner to kind of like lubricate the hair so it detangles more easily. Lubricate, not a word I ever thought I'd say on my channel, but it really does help. Next, another well-known curly hair tip that is good for everyone: don't use your typical like towel on your hair to dry it. Actually use like a microfiber towel or a old t-shirt to kind of scrunch and dry your hair, because it causes less frizz on the hair. I really love my Turbie Twists. It works just as well as throwing your towel on a turban, but it's lighter, so it causes less damage to the hairline, dries your hair faster, causes less frizz. This is a new tip to me, and I love it. When you apply your leave-in conditioner or your hair oil, rub it between your hands and then start on the ends and then slowly work your way up. Because that way the majority of your product is applied to the ends, and then less and less as you go up, which is pretty much about as much as your hair needs it. You have the most need on the very ends and less as you go up. So it will cause less unnecessary weigh down while still getting you all the moisturizing benefits you need. While we're on the whole leave-in products thing, I actually really recommend applying it while your hair is wet. Like, not dripping wet, but not damp either. That way you're sealing in that moisture that's already in your hair. It's sealing in the water and adding in more fats. It's just a perfect combination if you do it then. I would also recommend that if you have wavy or curly hair and you're gonna air dry, apply a product that's gonna help to tame and control the frizz. One that I really love, and I've talked about way too much at this point, is Miss Jelly's Jelly Soft Curls. Miss Jessie's, I always say Miss Jelly's. Miss Jessie's Jelly Soft Curls. This works so well. Your hair doesn't feel like a gel at all. It doesn't feel crunchy, but it gives you so much definition and so much taming. I really, really love it. So that's a good one if you're looking for one. And I also recommend that if you're going to scrunch something like this into your hair, only do it while your hair is very wet, because when you start to scrunch hair that's a little bit more on the damp side, when you scrunch and you pull your hand away, you're gonna see those little frizzies starting to come out. So really try to like get it in there while your hair is wet, and then just don't touch it. Let it be. Like the Beatles song, Let It Be. That is Beatles, right? Let it be, let it be, let it be. That is, right? I really hope so. And there you go, that's an overview of how I would take care of very frizzy hair. My hair is like, on the scale of frizz, it's probably on the less frizzy side, but I do have the color treatment, so I do use a lot of these tricks to keep my hair as shiny and healthy as possible. If you have any products or tips that I didn't talk about in this video, please tell me in the comments down below. I am always trying to up my frizz fighting game, and you will also help your fellow watchers to have more tips and tricks. So just sound off in the comments below. Let's be a family and help each other out. And that's it for today's video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more hair tutorials and tips and tricks and all that for every day. And don't forget to hit the bell notification, double tap it, so you get notified every time I post a video. And that is it for today. I'll see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye!